What's happening, team? Professor Mike, Coach T, back again, graced by Round A Leads here in the UK. Still in lockdown, still bringing you a video every single day to help your jiu-jitsu game. This week, talking about attacks from the back. We've already showed you the rear naked strangle, collar choke from the back, arm in Ezekiel from the back. Today, we're going to look at how we can finish our opponent without using our arms, okay? Triangle choke from the back. Now look, there are lots of different entries to this, lots of different finishes. I'm going to show you one. All right, we'll show you some more in the future. Plenty more online, but today this is how I get to the triangle from the back, and I use deception to get there. And I think that's important when we're practicing jiu-jitsu at perhaps a higher level, that we make our opponent think we want something, but in fact we want something else. All right, looks like this. Okay, so I'm going to take Coach T's back. Hooks are in, seatbelt control, head track, we're looking good. Okay, we know that our opponent is going to be thinking about this arm as our primary means of attack. It's right. If he neglects to deal with this, of course we're going to finish the fight from there, okay? So he's going to be focused on this. We showed you yesterday how we can come through to this on the far side, the arm of Ezekiel from our control arm. Today we're going to look at the triangle. And we're going to have to make sure that we do a systematic job in beating his defences and overcoming that deficit problem we spoke about last week. Okay, so the first thing I need to do, in order to get any triangle position, I need one of my opponent's arms inside my legs, one on the outside, right? How do I do that? For me, the easiest way is to re-grip my control hand. We did this when we talked about the deficit problem, either taking the meaty part of the hand around the knuckles or coming on the far side and taking the bottom of the hand, controlling the bottom of the lever, the end of the lever. From there, I'll go to my strong side, okay? I go to this side because it creates this arm framing on my opponent's head, thus making it more difficult for him to get his head to the mat. From here, I bring my leg over my opponent's arm and I will cross my feet. I cross my feet momentarily to maintain control of that arm. Now, as I come through to the far side, I roll. In transition to the roll, I will push my opponent's shoulder and come through to this position. Okay, where now I have my left leg over my opponent's shoulder. Alright, so from there, right hand underneath my opponent's armpit here. Alright, now I look to grab my own shin. It's important to come underneath the armpit. Grab my opponent's shin, my shin. Alright, there's lots of space on my opponent's neck here. How do I close the space? I'm going to step on my opponent's hip, push myself down and back to place him inside my lap. From there, I flex my toes back. Why? Engage my hamstrings and my calf, flex it back, lock the triangle, flex on this side as well. To finish, I will peel my opponent's arm high, thus putting his shoulder into his own neck, little squeeze of the legs, that's the finish there. If we leave this here, we can still finish, we have to apply more pressure of the knee going down, and it's a harder squeeze for our hips to make. We're just about getting the tap there. If I bring this high, okay, in terms of leverage on the neck, much better. A little bit of a squeeze, and that's the tap. Okay, quite a lot going on there. Let's have a look again. The initial part of this is the key bit. How do we get one leg over our opponent's shoulder? We have to dominate an arm. Seatbelt grip. Re-pummel on this control arm. It's going to be easier to re-pummel with this hand than this because he wants control of this. Okay? So as he controls the strangle arm, he believes that's to be the thing I want to finish him with. I re-pummel. I take a grip and peel this arm off, making sure I'm at the end of the lever, round the knuckles, around the fat of the hand, either at the top or the bottom. Okay, from there, I roll to one side. If I roll to this side, I won't get my leg free. So I need to roll to my strong side where my arm is, to control my opponent and keep him from putting his head to the mat. From there, all I need to do is pass my leg and calf over this wrist and trap that in place. To add additional pressure to this arm, I can cross my feet at this point. Alright, my feet are above my opponent's hips, so there's no danger of any footlocks from there. Now, I roll through to the far side, bring my opponent through. As I get to this far side, it's important that I come underneath my opponent's armpit and at the same time apply pressure on his shoulder to push him into the triangle position. I can lock this up momentarily from here, that's absolutely fine. When I want to create the angle, I can place on my opponent's hip, I've got my shin, pushing down into the triangle position, flex my foot over the top. I like to wrap underneath my opponent's hip. From there, flexing back, triangle's looking pretty tight. When I want to finish, I can come wrist to wrist to the elbow, pull this high, little squeeze, and that's all. Okay, one more time, real time. Okay, seat lock position. Peel, strong side, control. Come through to the other side. Triangles locked. Come underneath, grab my own shin. Step on the hip. Scoot back. Flex the feet into position. Pull the arm overhead. And that's the tap. Okay, team. Super efficient and smooth triangle entry with the finish there. Remember the key points. We must dominate an arm first. The work of getting the leg over the shoulder happens in the transition. Okay, when your opponent is worried about movement, all right, you create a deception again. And then we will need to go under the armpit, grab your own shin, stamp on the hip to push him down into your lap so that your calf is along and as parallel to his shoulders as possible. And then the key detail of finishing the triangle is flexing our feet to create tension in our hamstrings and our calves. It takes all the space away. It's a little squeeze and that's the finish. All right. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care.